What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're back at it with a Phoenix Suns rebuild. Today we got to save the Phoenix Suns. This team has had championship aspirations since they've acquired Chris Paul, and yes, they made it to the finals one time, but we all know what happened the very next year. And after losing their last 4 games, it is not looking good as of right now. But not having Devin Booker definitely, doesn't help with that. But today we're gonna try to get the Phoenix Suns a championship. Their window of opportunity is right now, and I have a 3-team trade that I think makes sense for all parties. So let's go ahead and do this, saving the Phoenix Suns rebuild in 2K23. Let's go. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. But like I said, we have a 3-team trade that I went ahead and did that I think makes a lot of sense for all parties involved. So let's just take a look at it. Let's not waste any time. This is what we did. So Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, and a first-round pick are being traded by Phoenix. They're all heading to the Atlanta Hawks. John Collins is heading to the Wizards, and then we are getting Kyle Kuzma and DeLon Wright on this team. So Kyle Kuzma immediately becomes that upgrade at that power forward spot that the Suns have been kind of looking for with not being healthy, with Jay Crowder not wanting to play for them, and of course Cameron Johnson getting hurt. So now you have that addition with Kyle Kuzma. The Wizards continue to try to win with Bradley Beal, so they get John Collins, and the Hawks are just looking for anything they can get to kind of get something going with this roster, so they get Jay Crowder, and they also get a first-round pick out of it since they're trading away John Collins, and Crowder is the oldest one in this trade. So basically, that is how we did it. And I honestly think it makes sense for all parties involved. There's been some rumors about the Hawks being interested in Crowder, some rumors about the Wizards being interested in Collins, and the Suns being interested in Kyle Kuzma. So there you go. All 3 teams get the power forward they're looking for, and I think it's a trade that could make some sense. So Kyle Kuzma is that upgrade at the power forward spot the Phoenix Suns are looking for, and obviously he's going to be someone you're going to be looking to re-sign once you get into the offseason. So this is your new rotation, fully healthy Suns rotation. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Kyle Kuzma at that 4 spot, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, Torrey Craig, and Damian Lee. And you have DeLon Wright for spot minutes if you need him as well. So definitely like that for us as well. So I really love this new rotation with Kyle Kuzma joining the fold. Don't know if that's going to make us a championship contender this season, but at least it's going to give us a better chance than we had. So we're going to summate the rest of the season with the way the roster is right now. With Kyle Kuzma joining us, what kind of respect do the Suns get, at least here in 2K? Let's find out. Let's summate the rest of season number 1. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to choose overs or unders on your favorite players that you enjoy watching each and every day. It is available on mobile or desktop, and this is how it looks. They give you the number, and you're going to choose over or under on it. They pretty much have every sport you can imagine, whether it's soccer, NFL, NHL. They have a ton of different options. So this is how it works. You choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 being 3 times your money, all the way up to 6 players, 25 times your money. Prize Picks has just elevated my watching experience to a whole new level. So if you want to sign up, I also have some of my entries as examples here. That way you can kind of see how it works. But if you want to sign up, links in the description. Use code Crushables. They match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. The Suns' worst nightmare wins MVP, like we always see. Luka Doncic, Paulo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, Kevin Love, AD, Trey Jones, and Joe Mazzulla, Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team. Do we get Devin Booker representing? No Devin Booker on any of the All-NBA teams. So we ended up as a 4 seed in the Western Conference, and look who we get, the Pelicans. As we know, these 2 teams matched up in the playoffs last year, and it was a lot of fun. So you had 27 for Devin Booker, 18 from Kyle Kuzma, immediately making an impact, 18 from DeAndre Ayton, 14 from Mikal, 12 and 10 from Chris Paul, 12 from Cameron Payne, and 11 from Cameron Johnson. So overall, the roster, pretty darn good. It's a lot to like here. Hopefully this team can have some success. Unfortunately for us, we do draw the Pelicans in round 1, and we know the Western Conference is just tough, man. There's a lot of good teams here, so we do have to deal with CJ McCollum. Jose Alvarado is starting at the 2 spot, apparently, which is kind of interesting. So Herb Jones coming off the bench. But the biggest thing is Zion Williamson. We know how dominant he can be in the simulation, so let's just hope for the best. Similar in game 1, we're down 1-0. We lose by 10. 26 and 6 from Mikal. Usually, if you're getting 26 points from Mikal Bridges, that's a game you probably win, but today it was not the case. Ingram and Zion both had 29 and 23. Game 2, we're down 2-0, so we've lost 2 straight in the first round, both at home. So if we go down 3-0, that is not good, and we go down 3-0 to the Pelicans, which Yeah, not really ideal, and we're probably going to get swept here, which we do get swept by the Pelicans. So immediately, if you're the Phoenix Suns and that happens, that is not a good sign at all. That is not a good sign at all, ladies and gentlemen. So what are we going to do to change this? Well, that's a good question. John Morant and Jason Tatum are in your conference finals MVPs, and you have the Celtics going on to win a championship. So not ideal at all. There definitely is going to be some crazy changes that need to be made this offseason. I know immediately people would think about trading DeAndre Ayton or something like that. For me, and 2K, DeAndre Ayton is pretty good, so I don't know if that's really the answer I'm looking for. I think the biggest thing I need to figure out is how I can move Chris Paul. I think that's the biggest thing, because 2K hates older players, just how it is. So we can find a way to move Chris Paul for a younger point guard. I think that would be ideal. Don't know how I get that done, though. That's going to be the bigger question, is how do we get that to go through in a realistic sense? We'll have to figure it out. I'm not sure. We're going to get creative, though. We're going to make it happen. We're going to find out what needs to be done in order to get Chris Paul, which the Wizards have our pick, or no, it's the Hawks that have our first round pick. We don't have our first round pick. So we obviously have Mikal Bridges, Ayton, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker all under contract. Ayton and Bridges I plan on keeping. Chris Paul at 30 years old. He's 88 overall, but like I said, if I can find a way to move him for a younger point guard or something, I think that's what I got to do. Don't know where that comes from, but we'll figure it out, and I'll have to get creative like I just mentioned. Immediately, I have 2 point guards in mind that I know I want. I feel like I can get to them without having to trade Chris Paul, and then I flip Chris Paul for whatever I can get. I don't even know what team would want a guy like Chris Paul. Maybe the Heat would be desperate enough to get like a point guard next to, you know, obviously what they have going over there in Miami. That could be an idea. So I'm kind of liking that idea just in a sense. But the 2 guys I'm looking at is like Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls. You just really don't know what direction Chicago is going to go in. I don't know if they'd want like Chris Paul, don't get me wrong, but he would be kind of great to get in my opinion. The next guy would be Murray on the Atlanta Hawks. I've always thought DeJounte Murray and Devin Booker would be an amazing backcourt. I still think that. And one thing we have going for us is Murray's contract is so cheap that I could get to that without trading away Chris Paul, I believe. So I'm looking at Murray and Lonzo Ball as my 2 favorites, honestly. I'm going to try for Murray first because the Trae Young and Murray experiment has been shaky at best. So I'm going to try to see if the Atlanta Hawks would accept something like this. So we just made a trade with them. So we got a good partnership with them. So what we have is we have DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet salaries that can definitely get to his contract, right? It would cost a lot, though. You would be pretty much giving up the rest of your future to do this. So I'd give up my 2025 and 2027. I don't really have a young player to throw in this trade. So I don't even know if they would accept this straight up like this. I mean, maybe you'd throw another first. But it's your way of saying, hey, we want to go for it. We want to win a championship. So I'm going to offer this, and they don't agree to that. So, yeah, I kind of figured they want it. I'll offer second as well. They don't agree. All right. I had to try. Another first, and I'm done. We got DeJounte Murray. We got DeJounte Murray on the Suns roster, and I honestly love it for us. I think Murray next to Devin Booker is a match made in heaven. I actually really like it a lot, and he's a lot younger. Now, you might be wondering, whoa, what are you going to do with Chris Paul? Well, I'm trading Chris Paul now. I'm not keeping him either. So we can trade Chris Paul, recuperate some assets for him. Now that we've traded 3 first-round picks for Murray, I think it was worth it. It's our way of going for it. So now I'm trading Chris Paul. And honestly, I don't even see a better trade than this one. A more realistic, better trade. I think we trade Chris Paul over to the Clippers for Norman Powell and Zubac. That immediately makes our bench that much better. And I think that just gives us a lot of depth here in Phoenix. We're trading Chris Paul for Powell and Zubac. I think the Clippers getting Chris Paul makes sense. He could pair them up with Kawhi and Paul George. I think that's the best situation for him. And if I can get like a first-round pick out of them as well, I'd be very, very happy. So we're also going to get a 16th pick for them, and we trade our 2 seconds. So at least walk away with a first-round pick. So now we have Murray instead of Chris Paul, and we're feeling very good about that. So we walk away with a lot of depth. Norman Powell's going to be a nice shot creator off the bench. That's something the Suns have been looking for as well. So I love our bench now with Norman Powell and Zubac joining the fold. I honestly really like how we walked away out of that or not even at the deadline. This offseason, obviously, walked away very nicely. And we get the 16th overall pick in this draft. So let's see what we can get. So 16, we have Chris Murray. We got Jeff Howard, Grant Dickey. But I saw Gregory Jackson on the board, and I think that's immediately who I'm taking. So, or I could take Sid as well. Which one do I want? I'm going to take the 19-year-old project. Give me Sid. He could be a huge part of the future here, but I love what we did. We went for it. We tried to make something happen. It could have taken, I kind of wanted to take Gregory Jackson. He fell all the way to 29 to the Grizzlies. That's scary. But Sid, welcome to the team. Player options. Kuzma declines, of course. Karen Payne, I'm going to accept. Qualifying offers: Dwayne Washington, Cameron Johnson, Jacques Landale, all free agents. I don't think I'm bringing back Landale. I don't think I'm bringing back Washington. Cameron Johnson, yes. And Kyle Kuzma, of course, we got to sign him as well. So we were able to bring back Kyle Kuzma on a 1-year deal. We're barely able to afford him. And we got Cameron Johnson back as well. As like I said, as far as Kyle Kuzma is concerned, just to show you if I can find him. There we go. 1 year, $15 million. So he kept going down. His price kept going down as free agency kept going along. And that's something I don't take advantage of enough. So I'm glad I was able to do that because I thought I was going to lose him for nothing. So Washington and Jacques Landale are back. And now player progression. You have Bridges going down 1, which sucks. Norman Powell going down 1 as well, which is unfortunate. But still, I think our bench is going to be looking really good. So if you take a look at what we got going on, it's Cameron Payne, Murray. You have Devin Booker, Norman Powell. You have Mikal Bridges. Sid is not going to really play this year, but you got Cameron Johnson, Zubac. We have a full 9-man rotation that we can be very, very ecstatic about. I think we have some nice, like I said, shot creation with Norman Powell off the bench. Zubac, really good backup center. I'm feeling really good about the position we're in. I really do. I think this team, with Murray joining the fold and what we were able to get for Chris Paul, this team has a good chance at winning a championship this year. It's just a matter of what respect we get in the 2K simulation with Murray joining us. Hopefully, some good respect here. I really love our rotation. Murray, Booker, Bridges, Kuzma, Ayton, Cameron Johnson, Zubac, Cameron Payne, and then Norman Powell is the last guy off the bench, which I think is pretty good. So let's go ahead and see how we do. 4.5 proficiency. Let's simulate season number 2. Joel Embiid wins MVP. Victor Wembanyama is your Rookie of the Year. John Wall is your 6-man AD defensive player. Maxi's most improved. And something you guys won't even believe. I couldn't even believe this was happening. We went 70-12. We won 70 games with this new reinvented Suns roster. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. I think that's just a crazy sim we just got. But honestly, like I said, I love the idea of Murray and Booker together. I think that could work out very well. But All NBA second team, All NBA third team. We don't have anybody representing or anything like that. But all defensive first team. Lonzo Ball, defensive second team. I was really thinking about him as well. I think Lonzo Ball could be another really good player if healthy next to Devin Booker. But we got the first seed in the West, of course, after winning 70 games. None of that matters, though, if you get eliminated in round 1. Like I said, usually that's how it goes for me. So 25 from D-Book, 19 from DeAndre Ayton, 18 from Murray. Immediately came in and made an impact probably with his defensive scoring. 14 from Kyle Kuzma, 12 from Mikal Bridges, 10.5 from Johnson, 9 from Payne, 8 from Zubac, and then 7 from Norman Powell. A lot to like here. Unfortunately, though, we have guys like Murray and Kuzma only on 1-year deals. So we got to take advantage of this now. We got to win a championship right now. Going past this season, expecting things to maybe go our way and getting both of them back is going to be tough. So got to do it right now. Got to take care of business. Get Denver in round 1. They have Murray, KCP, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Bones Highland. And of course, you know what we look like. So somebody current round against Denver. Don't lose in round 1, and we... Okay. All right, here we go. This is 2K. This is 2K. This is what I deserve. This is how it goes for me. Here we go. Don't lose game 7. That's all I ask for, please. Oh, my goodness. I'm just the most nervous person I can be right now. Do we got this? Do we got this? I think so. Okay. We do not get 8 seeded. Wow. We were up 3-1, and then what flashed in a second. I'm lucky I was able to click the B button just in time. We might have won, but still didn't like how close that was. And now I get the Timberwolves. So we still have Cat and Gobert, McDaniels, Edwards, D'Lo. So they still have a very good roster. So still a very tough team to deal with. Their bench is a little lackluster compared to ours. So hopefully we have the advantage there. Game 1, they win. Game 2, they win. And we're going to get swept in round 2. Please don't do that. And we're up to... Okay, boom. All right. Here we go, game 5. Bring it back to Phoenix. We got to take care of business now. We have brought it back to this point. Can we come out here and beat the Timberwolves in game 5? We need to take a... This is in Phoenix. Can't drop this game, and we're going to do just that. We dropped the game in game 5 in Phoenix, and now we're going to go to Minnesota to force a game 7. I guess I go 8-man rotation here and hope for the best. Hope this can work out in my favor, so... Cameron Payne is going to be jumping in that last spot, and Norman Powell will take a seat. So, game 6 in Minnesota. Got to come out and win it. Got to have some desperation. If we can't win it here, we may as well just, just call it GG's, I guess. And we have it now, and we do win 110 and 103, 21 and 18 from DeAndre Ayton. Now we have the biggest game of our lives here in game 7. Let's not show up like we did against the Mavericks, shall we? Here we go. Game 7. Against Minnesota in Phoenix, in front of our Phoenix fans. Let's give them a show that they can be happy about. Something they'd be proud of. We got the lead. Can we run away with it, though? I think we got this. Yep, I think we got it. Let's put them back. Boom. Okay. Kuzma delivers 28 in Game 7. 26 from Booker. 20 and 9 from Murray. 16 and 13 from Aiden. And now we get the Golden State Warriors. The Western Conference Finals matchup, I mean, most of us thought we were going to see last year before Dallas did what they did. And now we get the Golden State Warriors. So I have Kuminga, Clay, Steph, Wiggins, James Wiseman. We all know the last time Clay and Devin Booker saw each other, how that was going. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go for us in 2K. Game 1, beat them by 1, 26 and 8 from Devin Booker, 29 7 and 5. Even Kuminga showed up. Clay had 18. Game 2, we're up 2-0, beat them by 1 again, barely squeaking by. Win both our home games by 1 point. Game 3, they win. They beat us by 10, 56, 9, and 8 from Steph, and 20 and 11 from DeAndre Ayton. Game 4, we're up 3-1. That's huge. 23 from Wiggins, 22 from Kuzma, 21 and 18 from Ayton. In Game 5, we win. We're moving on to the NBA Finals. There we go. DeAndre Ayton, Western Conference Finals MVP. Darius Garland is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And guess who we get? The Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's see their path. So they beat the Miami Heat in 4. They beat the Celtics in 6, and they beat the Hornets in 4. Okay, so they are a very tough team, as we know. Donovan Mitchell is insane, as we know. Dropped 71 the other night. They have Oubre, Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, Nerlens Noel. They have Okoro starting a small forward. So this should be an evenly nice matchup. I'm curious to see how this is going to go for us. Game 1, we start off, beat them by 29. That is a good start to blow out a team like this. Game 2, we're up 2-0, win both our games at home. That's huge. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 2-2. Okay. Kind of figured that could be the case. Here we go. Game 5. We got to take care of business, man. Game 5, we got to win it. Can we win Game 5? We have the lead for now. That doesn't mean anything. And they ran away with it in the second quarter. And I think they got this one. Looks like, oh, we take it at the end. Boom. 123-127. 27 and 27 from Ayton and Booker. Can we win it in 6? Yes, we can. Just like that, we have delivered a championship to the Phoenix Suns. We got it done. Didn't even take me that long, to be honest with you. I honestly thought we would have to go another season once we're into the Cavaliers, but DeJounte Murray is your finals MVP. This is probably a pipe dream for the Phoenix Suns, to be honest with you, and probably none of this will happen, but this was still a fun video regardless to kind of have like an idea what the Suns could do, but the like I said, it's going to be very, very unrealistic and unlikely that is all going to fall in place where they trade Chris Paul and then they get Murray out of this situation somehow. Although, like I said, I love Murray. But hey, let me know down in the comment section below what you think the Phoenix Suns should do. I'm going to end it there, man. That is the quickest video I've recorded in such a long time. I feel like I have to go 4 or 5 seasons before I can win a championship ever on this game. But today I did it in the 2nd season. Maybe this game's starting to like me a little bit more. Maybe my luck's turning around a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys tomorrow. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.